I'm so excited. We're in Candy Shaw's beautiful home, and she's going to take us to look at her private collection of memorabilia. So over to you, Candy.
Well, I don't do this often, but I am excited to share with you sort of the wall of memorabilia, the wall of fame, the hair world, whatever you want to call it here. So much of the history of my father, now the third generation, my son, so much is in the bowels of my basement, if you will. I think one thing, though, that I might want to point out that I'm most proud of is this right here, which is all the top leading salon owners in Atlanta, Georgia. We have a collaborative spirit together where we have meetings quarterly or every 6 months or so to talk about the state of the industry, to talk about things that we're all doing differently in our businesses. And these are not only my competitors, but they're my friends. And I think that's a testament to the hair culture in Atlanta and the importance of that. So I'm really proud. And actually, during COVID, this became my catalyst, the heartbeat of who we were and what we did. We all made decisions together. So that was really an interesting thing. But as I walk you through, I mean, I can't stop at everything, but what I can tell you is this has just been a wealth of my father's career, a wealth of things that have really mattered. And, and with the magazine sort of going a myth now, and everything becoming digital, I'm more proud now that I've taken the opportunity to put these things together and to actually have a legacy to leave to those who maybe after me want to read and look at. This is probably one of my favorite things. My father was a competition hairdresser, the first American to ever win the world championship back in 1960 in Amsterdam. And this was my father's first hairdressing station in the first salon that he ever built in Atlanta, Georgia. And I love it because, I mean, look at the size of the drawer for the tools. I mean, back then, I guess it was apropos to just have a stove iron for marcelling and a little pair of scissors and a little tiny comb. My father had lots and lots and lots of wonderful trophies, of course, of which not all of them do I have here. Some of them I have at our academy here in Atlanta. But I love to say that. And in this wall, my greatest mentor of all, and that's a man by the name of Yosh Toya. I know Vivienne knows who Yosh Toya is, a wonderful, incredible hair cutter, Japanese man that I love so, so much. And then maybe just a little fun fact. This is five levels of hairdressing. It's my father passed it down to his brother, who passed it down to me, who passed it down to my cousin, who was a colorist, who passed it down to her brother, who's a cutter. So it was really a family affair. It used to be Jameson and Don Shaw hairdressers. My father and my uncle, who I'm actually named after, decided many years ago that it was better to be brothers than it was to be partners. So they had 4 salons at the time. My father took 2 and my uncle took 2, and they both are still thriving and doing wonderful things. We now only are down to 1 salon and love it that way. But come on this way and I'll show you some more of this crazy wall of fame. Let me just close this door here so you don't have to look at this. But it just kind of goes on and on and on. And each little area has a story behind it, whether it's things that I've done in the early parts of my career, whether it be philanthropic, which is really important and near and dear to my heart. The philanthropy of the gifts that you share with others, I think is so important. And I'm sure if I looked on these walls somewhere, I'd probably see a picture of you, Vivienne. But nonetheless, this is just some of the things that I've done through my career. And then the ode to my children who were major into sports. This was sort of the ode to them. They felt a little left out here. So I made the wall for them for all of the sports and things that they had done. I think another cute story to share is we had talked about earlier fear. and how much fear plays a part in uh, the iconic spirit of every great hairdresser. And I'm going to stop you right here with one of the fears that I had. So, Vivienne, you will love this story. So, a man by the name of Martin Parsons, who I used to always admire from afar. I was always in awe over Martin's way that he could conduct a classroom and how he could hold a stage on pins and needles. And I had never met him except being a road warrior. I was a road warrior out there seeing this man from afar and watching people run up to him and just want to be in his presence. And I thought, it would really be fun to do a photo shoot with Martin Parsons. And so I call him up and I say to him, "Hi, I know you don't know me. I'm just the lady in yellow that you see running around these trade show floors. And I would love to do a photo shoot with you. Would you consider coming to Atlanta? I'll handle the models. I'll color the hair. I'll get the dresses, the makeup artist, the photographer, everything that you need, except I just need you to come." And he said, "You know what? I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's do it together." Now, mind you, I've never, ever broken bread with this man. He comes to Atlanta and he has a toolkit that is literally this big. It's like a dock kit. And it was in that moment, a pivotal moment in my career, that I realized in order to be Martin Parsons, all you need is a small dock kit, because everything he owned was right up here in that noggin of his and right here in his hands. And all he needed was a few great bobby pins and a comb and a beautiful Mason Pearson brush and a hairspray. And that's what made him. And so for 2 days, we collaborated on a beautiful wedding shoot. And it got 11 pages in Modern Salon magazine, and we didn't really shoot it for the magazine. I just shot it for myself, just to be something that I could enjoy and love, in my career. So, talk about overcoming fears. That was a huge fear of mine, was to be in the presence of such greatness. And now, I'm so proud to have that on Martin. And then I love to tell the story about everybody has a celebrity, that they do in their career. And all you have to do is do one celebrity, and now you're a celebrity stylist. But I love to tell the story about Carrie Underwood's wedding that I did, which was a really a thing that developed on a relationship that happened from this wall. So this wall here was my relationship with a girl who just was an Atlanta Falcon cheerleader and then Miss Georgia. And then she became the Playmate of the Year. And then she married a man with the Rascal Flatts band. And so I got to do her wedding. And these were all just the matriculation of just having good relationships and being kind and being nice to people. So the next thing I know, I'm doing all these country music awards, and I didn't even really listen to country music that much at the time. And so this was just sort of things in my career that continued to develop just from saying yes and overcoming those fears of that. And once I did this, it sort of eased me over into doing Carrie Underwood, which was really probably one of the biggest feathers in my cap as a stylist, to be able to do something collaborative that was quite a big deal. That was a major quiver for my hat, so to speak. But I love to tell the quick story of the time that I got called by Vanity Fair magazine. And I love to tell this to stylists out there, because they all think that these celebrity stylists are just making money hand over fist, and they're doing all of these things. And, when Vanity Fair calls you, you return their phone call, right? So they called me and asked me what my day rate was. And I told them what it was. And they said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. We're not going to be able to use this for our shoot, because for obvious reasons, we don't have, we're not going to be paying that kind of money." So I did this thing with Vanity Fair with Ted Gibson and Scott Barnes, one of the most decorated makeup artists. He's done every celebrity and in the land, so to speak. And as we finished this, I was Ted's assistant. It was the first time I'd ever met him. We worked a 16-hour day. I'd never seen more dresses and more fanfare in my life. And we were in the van going back to the hotel, and I looked at these boys and I said, "So tell me, what's a celebrity artist like you make for Vanity Fair magazine?" And they said, "Well, why don't you tell me what you made, Candy?" And I said, "Well, they paid me $200 and I just donated it to the place, which was the Swan Coach House, a very famous historical place in Atlanta." And they both burst out laughing and they said, "Wow, you made 200, we made 250." And I'll never forget that moment of thinking, oh, we all think that we can just charge whatever we want and do whatever we want. Most of my career, most of this room, most of what I've done in my career has all been built on just saying yes, just getting backstage and helping, sweeping the floor, going to the model prep room, and lending a helping hand. And it really isn't about being the best hairdresser that gets you here. It's really about being kind and authentic and genuine. And that's how this whole room was created, on just someone who said yes in a moment when she feared falling, and she also feared not being able to live up to that expectation. So I hope you enjoyed my little tour.